Hello, dear students, and welcome to a new English lesson. Today's lesson is for the 6th grade. We are going to talk about film, and I am Ivana Bokavšek, your English teacher today. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to show understanding of the dialogue on the topic of a film by reading. You will be able to use a proper intonation in an interview, and you will be able to recommend your favorite film according to the given clues using the simple past tense of regular and irregular verbs. For today's lesson, you need a pencil, a notebook, a laptop, tablet or smartphone, QR code scanner, and internet connection. A space shuttle, a rugby player, and this angry pirate. Can you imagine a space shuttle and these two characters filmed by a camera? It would be a fun. Do you agree with me? So we are talking about a film as the highest form of art so far created by man. What kind of different artists make a film? Do you know? Let's find out. So who makes a film? An actor, an actress. They are both members of a film cast. In other words, a film crew. Who is this? A film director, who is in charge of everything, from giving instructions to the actors and actresses, setting a film scene, to taking care of visual elements of a film. That brings us to a cameraman, who listens to a film director and how he wants to catch a single scene. That is not all. There are more people who are as well important as those that we mentioned before. A screenwriter. Without a good screenwriter, there isn't a good plot. Radnja. A screenwriter writes what actors and actresses need to say and show the story as well as it is possible. And what about this person? That is a producer. There wouldn't be any films without him. Why? He takes care of getting enough money for a film, and he chooses a film director, and together with the film director, he decides on other members of that film cast. A composer. Do you know who that would be? A person who composes or makes music. A film music brings a special effect, and without it, we couldn't have a complete film sensation. Do you know anyone else who makes a film? Write your ideas in your notebook, and don't forget to pause the lesson to do this task properly. What do you need to make a film? Definitely a screenplay. A screenwriter writes a screenplay, a story that a film director makes into a film. Actors and actresses need to learn that screenplay and act it out. A set. What's that? It is a place where the action starts in the film, created the same way as it is in a screenplay. Do you know what it is? It is a clapboard. Before shooting a scene, it is necessary to use the clapboard to identify the scene a film crew is recording. There are always information for the scene on the clapboard, which is important when they put scenes together after recording to know which scene is good and which not. Interesting, isn't it? Can you add anything else to this list? Please pause the lesson and write your ideas in your notebook. When did it all start? How far back to the history did we need to go to detect the beginning of the first films? At the beginning of the 20th century, movies were silent, meaning that you couldn't hear actors and actresses talking. Instead, you could read their conversation on these black screens between the scenes. Like this one, where Charlie Chaplin, a famous actor-comedian, wants to meet this beautiful girl. Charlie Chaplin was one of the most famous silent film actors. You can notice this red bold part in the sentence, was. At the beginning of the 20th century, films were without actors' speech. We have again the word were in red bold. Why? Which tense is it? The simple past tense. Good one. Let's see what was and were are. Glagol biti je nepravilan glagol, što znači da ne možemo staviti nastavak ed ili d da bismo dobili glagol u simple past tensu. On ima svoje oblike, a to su was u prvom i trećem licu jednine, were u drugom licu jednine i prvom, drugom i trećem licu množine. Nječni oblik je was not ili skraćeno wasn't, gdje se uvijek o u riječi not zamijeni apostrofom. Također i were not možemo skratiti u weren't, gdje slovo o u riječi not opet zamijenimo apostrofom. Let's see the examples. I wasn't at the cinema last month. My friends weren't at the cinema yesterday. A što je s upitnim oblikom? Kako se tvori upitni oblik? Glagol biti, odnosno was, stavimo na početak rečenice i dobijemo pitanje. Let's see the example. Was Jane at the cinema last month? Mogući odgovor na ovo pitanje je kratak. Yes, she was. Na isti način tvorimo upitni oblik u ovom primjeru, gdje glagol were stavljamo na početak rečenice i mogući odgovor je također kratak. Were they at the cinema yesterday? No, they weren't. Pogledamo još neke nepravne glagole kao što su make, made, have, had, become, became, get, got. Let's see the examples. Charlie Chaplin made the most popular silent films. He had a too small coat, too large pants, and shoes. Modern Times and the Gold Rush became one of his most famous films ever. He got his only Academy Award nomination as the Best Actor. Učili smo u prošloj lekciji at the cinema upitni i nječni oblik. Prisjetimo se, kako tvorimo upitni i nječni oblik u simple past tensu. Tako je, trebamo pomoćni glagol did plus not za nječni oblik plus glavni glagol je obavezno u obliku infinitiva. Charlie Chaplin didn't have a happy childhood. Možete uočiti da glavni glagol have je u obliku infinitiva jer je pomoćni glagol didn't već izrazio radnju u simple past tense-u. Did he win an Oscar? Također možete primijetiti da smo koristili pomoćni glagol did na početku rečenice kako bismo postavili pitanje, a glavni glagol je u obliku infinitiva jer pomoćni glagol did je već izrazio radnju u simple past tense-u. Odgovor na dane pitanje je uvijek kratak, kao i u ovom slučaju. No, he didn't. Isti pomoćni glagol kojim je počelo pitanje treba biti u odgovoru. Let's practice now. You need to fill in the gaps with the verbs in brackets using the simple past tense. Gap, you, gap, see, any new films last month. Let's check your answers. Did you see? That's right. My friend's dad, gap, tell me about the history of the film last week. Told. Good one. My friend and I, gap, be very curious about Star Wars yesterday. Were. Good point. The film gap not be boring yesterday evening. Wasn't. Bravo. The Gold Rush gap not win the Academy Award. Didn't win. Nice work. More practice makes perfect. Follow this link bit.ly/spirv or just scan this QR code and do this task. Don't forget to pause the lesson, of course. Before reading the following text, there are some key words we need to explain. Soundtrack, a track that carries the sound, music, sound effects, talking. Reel, a round wheel-shaped object on which a film can be rolled. Blockbuster, a film that is very popular and successful because it is very exciting. Editor, a person who puts the pictures and sound together. Role, one of the characters that an actor plays in a film. Gripping, so interesting or exciting that holds your attention completely. Suspense, the feeling of excitement that you have when you are waiting for something to happen. Now we are going to read this interview together. I will read this introduction part and Johnny's part, and you will read host questions. Pay attention to the intonation of the sentence while you are reading. Welcome to our evening show all about films. I am Ivana, your host today, and here I've got my guest, Mr. Johnny, a famous actor. Good evening, everyone. Have you read the question this way? Johnny, it is not easy to be an actor. Was it difficult to prepare for your role in your last film? Well, a film director gave me a screenplay to read. It was challenging at first, but I accepted the role. I talked to a screenwriter a lot because I wanted to understand my role the best. Don't forget, you are asking hosts questions. So the question is, who decided about casting? A producer who was responsible for raising money for the film. After that, the film director helped the producer to choose the actors and actresses. When we heard a clapboard, the action started and we all needed to do our job very well. So the question is, when did you last watch a blockbuster? It was last month. A great story was an amazing film. The set was in the middle of desert and the soundtrack held the suspense in almost every scene. The composer did a great job. Editors put all the scenes and music together perfectly. They got 6 reels of film and 2 projectors played them to show the film on the screen. But my favorite films were silent movies with the great actor Charlie Chaplin. The soundtrack played a huge role in making the scenes gripping. It's your turn again. So the question is, which is your favorite animated film? It is definitely the first one, Steamboat Willie. Walt Disney produced it in 1928 and it became an important part of the film history. And you said, thank you, Johnny, for this short interview. We can't wait to see your next film. Thank you and the audience watching us. And now answer these questions in your notebook. You need to pause the lesson to do this task at your own pace and correctly. And now you need to do this task. Pick one blockbuster you like. Record your 2-minute talk about it. Talk about the plot of the film by answering these questions: what, where, when, the characters, the actors, the soundtrack, the film director, and explain why you liked it. Use the simple past tense of regular and irregular verbs and the keywords in this lesson. To record your speech, follow this link: bit.ly, record your speech, or just scan this QR code. This assessment rubric is necessary to check how good your speech was. Read these elements you need to check and define which level each element of your speech is. It's a quiz time. Read the question and choose the correct answer. I will wait for you to decide which one it is and show you the correct one. Let's start. And one more game. It's a guessing game. My students made these posters for the film competition we had. Try to guess which film it is. Pause the lesson and write down your answers. Have fun. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Let's check your answers. Number 1, The Grinch. Number 2, Home Alone Part 2. Number 3, The Titanic. Number 4, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Number 5, The Parent Trap. And number 6, Wall-E. Excellent! Before I say goodbye to you, I want to tell you that you've done a nice work. Stay well and see you soon again. Bye!